Hi everyone and welcome to No Man's Sky. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're new to my channel, you'll recognize right away my love for No Man's Sky, and specifically the No Man's Sky engine. No Man's Sky, in my opinion, is one of the greatest space games ever made, and what's interesting about it is it's one of the greatest space games ever made because of its potential, not necessarily where it is. I think it's a great game where it is now, but it could be so much better. The engine is capable of so much. And for those of you new to my channel, you may notice that I have a series called CHIMERA. Well, CHIMERA is my own modding. I do my own modding of the game to see what procedural greatness we can achieve in the No Man's Sky engine, and that's really what it's all about, to push the engine as much as I can in my limited modding experience and see what we can generate in the way of procedural variety. And in the background here you'll see some of my favorite screenshots using my CHIMERA testing, and I hope it'll help illustrate the point I'm trying to make, that the diversity that is possible, the procedural diversity that's possible with the engine, is near limitless. I mean, if you'll excuse the pun, it can literally almost give us the infinite variety that was initially promised. And it's really that potential for infinite variety that I wanted to kind of focus on and just make this video about. Some of you may be new to No Man's Sky. Many of you may be new to my channel and not know what my channel is all about. My channel is all about exploring games that are either sci-fi or fantasy, that totally pull you in, that immerse you in a role-playing or just completely engross you in the world. I'm not one of those who cares about how many kills I get, beating the game as quickly as possible. I care about exploration, immersion, and roleplay. And No Man's Sky lends itself very well to that style of gameplay. And for me, as an explorer, the main limitation that I was coming across was honestly the lack of exploration or motivation for exploration that came with progressive updates of No Man's Sky. Some of these pictures like these here are from version 1.0, and you can see from the terrain and atmospherics that I'm able to get, it just makes you want to explore it. You want to jump right into it and see everything that planet has to offer. And for me, usually after about 30 minutes, I'm so curious what's over the next horizon or what's on the next world that I'll be jumping around everywhere. And No Man's Sky is unique in the way that there are multiple versions of the game, and all of them give you a different experience when you play it. Version 1.0 versus Origins. Anyone who has played legacy versions versus current versions will tell you the difference in pretty much everything is monumental. I mean, here we're looking at 1.0, and the art style, the generation, procedural generation, the assets, many of them are extremely different. So particularly if you play on PC, you're able to experience this tremendous wealth of variety throughout the legacy versions. Actually, I should say throughout all the versions of No Man's Sky. So No Man's Sky is unique because it is always changing and evolving. If you explore in a game, say, and I'm not picking on the game, I love this series, but if you're exploring in, say, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, well, yes, it's beautiful, there's a ton to explore, but it is, if you'll excuse the term, static. The world cannot change. The world is not procedural. In a game like No Man's Sky, you never know Well, to the extent of the assets. These trees, you may see repeated on another planet, but the planet will be different. The trees will be different colors. They will change. They can be procedural. Everything can be procedural. In the engine, Hello Games has chosen not to exploit the full potential of the No Man's Sky engine, the procedural generation, for reasons that are unknown to many of us. But the potential is still there. You have rodders. You have, I just combined Rayrod with modders and had said rodders. I never need to do that again. You have modders like Rayrod, who have spent years with the No Man's Sky engine to make the overhaul he's making called the Multiverse, that also attempt to exploit the No Man's Sky engine and give us a lot more of that procedural generation that was promised from Hello Games. Once again, not picking on Hello Games. Hello Games has finally made a full circle back to variety, and in Origins they're giving us that focus on variety that we've been waiting for years, us explorers, that is. And I'm so excited about the direction of No Man's Sky. But modders like myself and Rayrod and others exploit the engine and show some of the tremendous potential that's capable in the game. And I hope some of my screenshots help illustrate that, because honestly, some of the results I've gotten with my own personal testing, it's just, I'm just floored. And screenshots and gameplay videos don't do it justice. You know how it is when you're actually playing something. Some of these worlds, when I was flying around or exploring on foot, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe that the engine was capable of it. And the engine is capable of so much more. If you recall back in the early days of announcement information regarding No Man's Sky, Hello Games mentioned that everything is capable of being procedural. Every leaf, every tree, every bit of fauna and flora. And the fauna and flora, each individual asset, originally with the super formula, was capable of procedural variations in and of itself. Say there was a space cow. Well, that space cow could have variations in its face, its eyes, its feet. All of its features could be procedural. That procedural generation is not currently present in the game, but it exists in the engine. Of course, modders don't have access to the source code, but we have access to a lot of what the engine has to offer. And as Rayrod has put it before, I think he said less than 2% of the potential of the procedural generation is being implemented currently in game. When you think about that tiny percentage and what the engine is capable of, it's profound. It's unlike any other game, as far as I know, any other space game in existence. So tremendous potential. I love this image here. I don't know if my audio is linked up with the images here, but that just looks like a skeleton almost. Anyways, I digress. Tremendous potential. And so I've spent, I don't know. I looked on Steam and I think I was up to like 400 hours, but that's BS, because that's only 400 hours in what they're classing like that's the current version. I've spent so many hundreds of hours in this game over the years because of its potential, not because of how great the game may be at any one point, but its potential. And I didn't crop that image. Dang it. Oh well. Some of these images, guys, there were so many of them, I got bored going through and cropping them properly for the video, so you have to excuse me. But anyways, so that was really the point of this video. If you're new to No Man's Sky or new to my channel, this is the entire point to me, is exploring one of the most diverse, procedurally generated space games ever made, and its tremendous potential and the future of the game. Hello Games is continuing to support the game, and right now their focus is on variety. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the future. I'm so excited for my personal testing and other modders to see what we can bring out in this beautiful, beautiful game. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys next time.